Okay, shall we begin? 15
Yes.
of us, 50% attendance. I think out of a possible 33. So we should start.
Right, Guruji. So now we have 33, Guruji, in the
Yeah, yes.
professional group. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, great.
So who's going to do the prayer?
I can do the Rigveda mantra. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatam Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasrinvannodapasida Sadhanam. That's for Ganapati in Rigveda style.
Okay. It's something that we hear in when we do homam, right?
Yes. Yeah. Then if there's more time, I can do one more on the Sanjeevani mantram that we talked about. But
Oh, yes, we can. Definitely. Because it's Saturday. It's good. Beneficial for all.
Munjamitva havisha jivanayakamakmyata yakshmadutaraja yakshmat grahir jagraha yadi vaitarenam tasya indragni pramumuktaменam yadikshitayur yadi vapareto yadi mrityorantikam niteva tamaharaminiruterupastadaspashamenam shatasharadaya Sahasrakshena shatasharadena shatayusha havisha shamenam shatam yatemam sharadonayati indro vishwasya duritasya param shatam jiva sharado vardhamana shatam me mantan shatamu vasantan शतमिन्द्राग्नि सविता बृहस्पति शतायुषा हविषेमं पुनर्दुः आहा आर्षन्त्वा वीदन्त्वा पुनरागाः पुनर्नव सर्वाङ्ग सर्वं ते चक्षुः सर्वमायुश्च ते विदम्.
For those of us who do not know what's the meaning of, I mean, generally, what is that? What is our prayer actually in this?
Usually, there's one prayer to Ganapati, and then
the second one.
Yeah, the one before. This is like you see the Triambakam Yajamahe that you say in the Yajurveda. This is the Sanjeevani for prolonging life in the Rigveda.
Rigveda, okay.
Is the same as Mahamrityunjaya? It's Trayambake Yajamahe.
No. The origin is different. The Veda is different.
Okay,
So,
okay.
I think Rigveda is superior, I think.
I wouldn't say superior. It is older, I guess, in the...
Yeah. More, okay, therefore, okay. More ancient. Was there any problem for people getting the links? Or they prefer watching it over the recording? Okay.
For me, the last time I didn't know, I was in the other class and then this was this class, but now I've got the links.
Yeah. But I think by now everybody knows that the dates have changed. I think.
Yes, I know that Jyotish Kashiji is traveling probably. And
Oh,
Sai
okay,
said-
okay. Yeah.
Sai said he'll join officially in 15 minutes. He's there. And then Guruji, we cannot, at least I cannot see the video from yesterday's session in Patreon. I don't know if others are having the same.
No, it goes through two processes. One, it first, because it goes through Vimeo, and Vimeo has it first has to load itself onto that system. It goes through Patreon, but sits in Vimeo, and so it's only not directly visible. It takes some time for it to be visible, and then it primarily sits in what they call scheduled mode, and then after a long time I get a message, and then I can publish it. It goes through two stages. That's why.
Got it. And actually now I can see it. I just refreshed it.
Okay.
So now I can see it. Yeah. Okay.
This week, is it the continuation of that uh,
Case study
Like-
today, right? Guruji, or
Um, what was that we did last time?
the life significators of long life? And I thought that's what was there from the recording I saw.
Okay, okay. No, we are doing some other case study this time.
great.
Okay. So there was significations of short life and medium life, like 12th Lord in the 8th house is medium. 8th Lord in the 12th house is short. Now, if horoscope has both, and one of the horoscopes that I've seen has both, does that mean the longevity is between short to medium?
When we get opposites within the same set of ideas, like in this case, it is based on lordship, the Maharishi has given us to take the average in every combination. Like in the same horoscope, 1 versus 1, we get the opposite in the same topic, then we are supposed to take the average. But the average, what we may miss is that we may miss out on the possibility of both sides. So it can still happen in either side. But with regard to longevity, it has to be averaged. Whereas in terms of some types of behavior or experiences, it can happen each of them at one point in life.
Okay. So along similar lines, we also talked about our ascendant in 8th, which is generally not a good thing. But in case of Aries and Libra ascendants, or in my case also, the 8th Lord is also in 8th. Ascendant is also in 8th. Is that the same type of averaging out that we need to do?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, definitely average. Because it has own house status, right?
yeah.
Because of the own house. Yeah.
Yeah. So in that case, we should also take it as ascendant in 8th isn't a very good sign, but 8th and 8th
Is good. Yeah,
is good.
It's long life. Yeah.
Thank you.
Guruji, I had a very basic question. I was revising your beginner session for directions of rashis, like north. Pisces is north, right? And then Aries is east, and then southwest, like that. It goes around.
ESW.
Correct. So when we, supposing the Lagna is Aries, then the 10th house, 10th house, you always say is above, right? Above the head. I was just trying to think. So that is north, right?
No, that is south.
Oh, actually, that is south?
Yeah, that's a very confusing aspect of direction. So in the house numbers, 10 is south.
South, yes.
And 4
that's
is
what
north.
My confusion was. Okay.
And this is not the only thing. Digbala is usually the stronger signification of direction, favorable direction.
Okay.
Digbala. Like Jupiter in first house, for example.
Correct.
So then you will have northeast direction, Digbala. I think we did a session, right? Once, maybe in class we did it, I think.
I think I had to go revise that one because I was doing the base, and that's when I was like 10th house is south on like in terms of like the definition. But when we say that when we look up in the sky, that is the 10th house.
Yeah, we look like it's the north.
That would appear like north. Yeah.
It will be the south actually.
South. Okay, got it.
Guruji, I have a question.
Guruji, one quick question. This is Girish here. So if the fifth lord is in eighth, 10th lord is in eighth lord is in eighth. So
Okay.
any thoughts on that one, Guruji? Fifth and 10th lord both are in eighth, and eighth
Is it
lord
the
is
same
also
planet?
yeah, it's the same planet. Yeah, which is Shukra, Venus. Fifth lord is Venus, and 10th lord is also Venus, and it's in eighth. And eighth lord is also in eighth, which is Sun.
Is the sun very close to Venus?
They are together in the Simha Rashi itself.
I know that, but are they very close in degrees?
Oh yeah, they are close.
Yeah, then it is a serious, minus setback.
Okay.
The person has to do a lot of Putra dosha nivrittis.
Okay.
Guruji, I have a question around combustion. I'm looking at a chart where Venus and Mercury are both combust, all within 2 degrees. One is within 2 degrees, one is within 1 degree. Mercury is 2 degrees and Venus is 1 degree. In the dasha of Venus, which is like a 20-year period, will it be bad or will it depend on the antardasha? Will the antardasha have any effect on the?
Just one second. Oh, sorry about that. Can you repeat that last statement?
Yeah. So in the dasha of a combusted planet, will the antardashas have any value or will they be totally not showing the results?
No. How can it be? The antardasha will show. Okay. Even combustion doesn't take away everything. There is something still, you understand? So even in the combustion, it is only, we use the word affliction, afflicted, doshas. So it doesn't mean the complete house is damaged. There will be tension regarding that. There will be fear. Usually combustion means fear.
And what happens if the Shatbala is very high?
Yeah, then it improves because in spite of combustion, the Shatbala has improved. So if you do the stack-up method, combustion, and then we have maybe Shatbala also weak. And if you find more and more fault, the combustion will start to hurt. But even then, the dasha, whatever is a long period, is not capable of completely. As though the antardashas will never have an effect. It will never be like that. What you can say
sir,
is,
planetary war, the same thing, right, sir?
Pardon me?
Planetary war also fear, sir. It is not only in combustion, the planet.
Planetary war would be more of fight.
Or also fear will be there factor.
Yeah, fear also will be there, but it will be more of conflicts. Okay.
So you're saying combustion is just one element in a stack-up method?
Yeah. But it hurts the planet. So throughout the period, there will be a lot of concern. Let's say fifth house is afflicted by combust, then there will be fear about children. If 10th lord is combusted, fear of profession. Usually goes around fear.
Guruji, you mentioned about the Digbala also, and that has it has weightage, more weightage. So again, maybe my own thing, 10th house is Mars, but Mars is debilitated. So again, it's an average. Obviously, if 10th house for Aries, it's very good. And anything else for Mars on the 10th house is very good. But you also have to take into account whether it's an enemy house, own house, debilitated or exalted. And in the case of debilitation, does the debilitation take more importance or the 10th house take, or it's a mixed result?
No, the house is superior. The house reference is superior to anything. Because what it means is the house. So if you say 10th house, then it will be more to do with that particular 10th house matters. And then the concerned planet's weakness and strength will boost up that house.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, now I'm going to share you horoscope. I'm going to fill in only one by one. Okay, I won't fill in because I've chosen a horoscope purposely so that we will understand some other, the significance of something else. It's not so. We just want to. I mean, make it look like you need to know more or look further in certain horoscopes because they're not so much revealing. Before that, Manoj, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Manoj, do you have Amitabh Bachchan's horoscope?
Yeah.
Yeah, but can you just share? His Lagna is Kumbha Lagna, right? If you have it, you just show
Yes,
it.
sir.
So it will be Kumbha Lagna.
Sir, the one that I have, it is showing Makara Lagna.
What is the time you have used?
3:30, sir.
3:30.
Allahabad. 11/10/1942, 3:30.
It's actually Kumbha Lagna. So do one thing. Just increase the time of birth to bring it to Kumbha Lagna. Maybe 4 p.m.
So the one that is the data that is available, it's wrong, I guess. I'll change the
So
timing.
342, sir. In your video, it was 342, sir.
Then use 3:42.
Okay, I'll make it as 3:40.
32 p.m.
If you click on images, 1 minute, I'll just show you. Okay.
So even 3:42, it is only Makara.
Wait. First make it. Is it October 11th, 1942?
Yes, sir. Time is 4 o'clock, sir, that you have used.
Can you see this? Every
Yeah,
horoscope
15.
is showing.
Yeah, sir. If it is 16, I think so it will be Kumbha Lagna for me also.
See this. This is Kumbha Lagna. This is Kumbha Lagna. Almost everything is Kumbha Lagna. You see this? Here also Kumbha Lagna. Kumbha Lagna. Kumbha Lagna all over the internet. See 11. Here also Kumbha Lagna. Everywhere it is Kumbha.
I have Kumbha Lagna now, sir. I changed the timing to 4 o'clock that you have used.
Okay. But in the Baba chart, there will be some. Did you alter any of the Ainamsha? Can you check its Lahari Ainamsha? Chitra Paksha Ainamsha? By accidentally, you changed for some.
Just checking, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Yeah. Well, in some, most of it is Kumbha. I think at least for our class purpose today, if you use 4 o'clock, I think it's enough.
It was in Lahari. I changed it to Chitra Paksha now.
Yeah. Always keep it in Chitra Paksha. That is called true Lahari.
Sir, I've used 4 o'clock and I'm getting Kumbha.
What is the degree?
1 degree, 58 minutes.
Allahabad, is it India Allahabad or some other Allahabad?
It is India, sir.
India,
Let me give the lat and long. It is 81:51 east and 27:27 north, 25:27 north, sir.
81 east and?
25:27 north.
Okay. Then it is India Allahabad. Then. Some people have got even at 3 o'clock Allahabad, they've got Kumbha Lagna. Very strange. Can you see where I keep the mouse? Can you see that?
Sir, I'll do one thing, sir. I'll put it in J Hora and I'll also check it. 1 minute.
Yeah. Some people at 3:30, they got Kumbha Lagna. Anybody else on J Hora? This is a very odd man out horoscope,
Yeah, I have J Hora right open with me now.
Yeah. Can you feed this detail where I'm hanging the mouse over? October 11, 1942, 3:30 at Allahabad.
Okay.
Kumbh Lagna, sir.
Kumbh Lagna, right? What is the degree?
-11 degrees, sir. 11 degrees, 35 minutes.
Yeah, so that must be the correct one.
Yes, sir. Even in J Hora, I'm getting at 11 degree. I'll just check, sir.
Yeah, something went wrong there. It's okay. Okay, you just go and see the settings if something happened. And okay.
October 11, 1942.
Yes.
3:30 in the afternoon. Okay.
Yeah. What did I use in my video? Pavani noticed it. Somebody said something. She's not there.
Yes, I am, sir. 47, sir. 3:47 p.m.
347. Please use 347.
Sir, it's 2:47, I think, sir. 2:47. I mean, evening, p.m.
No,
It is said
won't be.
birth time rectification sample using the horoscope of Amitabh Bachchan. It is part 2. In case you are not interested in this topic, you may skip this portion and go to sorry. This is time in the video. Sorry, sir.
So the early morning time mentioned in some websites is not correct, sir.
No. He was born afternoon. Long time I did one. Amitabh.
A lesson in astrology. Amitabh Bachchan, a lesson in astrology, sir.
I was able to generate more than 80 crore rupees in my career.
Sir, you did it like 455 or something like that in your video, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, welcome back to my next lesson in Vedic astrology. This video is about Amitabh Bachchan, the superstar, an actor who has become a legend in his own lifetime. Kumbh Lagna. Become the ascendant for us.
Sir, I think so. It was the software was picking the
First of
light, daylight saving, sir, 1 hour. So that was causing the issue, I guess.
Oh, I see.
So I removed it, and now I'm seeing Kumbh Lagna.
Okay.
Sudden gain in wealth because of the losses that you had.
There's no daylight saving for India.
Are
No, some adjustment was done during war time. But this is not war time, right? During the Second World War, there was something called war time in India.
Oh, okay.
During that time, 1 hour was adjusted.
71.
Interesting.
Sir, I think so. Then that is correct, sir. Actually, it is a war time, sir. The Second World War went till 1945. So that is why the daylight saving is being added 1 hour.
He has.
So if that is the case, then he is becoming Makara Lagna.
No, it was people ignored it and did not use that time at all. So most of the time it was. I mean, wartime, it was like that. Only officials used it. For horoscope, they never used it.
The Baba is placed in the 5th house. There was another box of this.
Sir, 3:42, sir, actual time.
What I used it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so then use the same time.
Okay, sir. I'll use 3:42 without.
Without war time. Yeah, without war time.
Example of what it means to do birth time rectification. If you browse the internet and search for the horoscopes of Amitabh Bachchan, you will find that there are various versions, many versions, starting anywhere from his birth time being 3:30 p.m. to.
I'm sharing it, sir.
What is this real time? I'm not going to do the exact birth time.
I had to stop sharing, right?
Let me start with 3:40. 342.
Yeah.
And this is the Rashi chart and the Bhava chart. So the Rashi chart doesn't change because the Ratna is at 15 degrees, 32 minutes. It's right in the middle of the sign. 1 hour ahead or 1 hour behind, you still find it is at various systems. But there are final points. At 342, please have a look at the Bhava chart. You will find Jupiter.
Your video is on, correct? In the background, or is it some other tab of mine?
Using this feature here on Jagannath Vara, please look at this point.
I think you have to pause the YouTube video.
Or any app.
Yeah, I can hear his YouTube.
43. 3:43 p.m. Jupiter has moved into the fifth house.
343. 42 and make it 43. Manoj, 343.
Making.
Yeah. So store this as the permanent time. Have you stored it, Manoj?
Yes, sir. It is updated, sir, in my end. 343.
Okay. You can maybe add EKDKs in the part of the name. Okay, so that you'll know. I rectified it by a minute. So can you say what is so peculiar about this chart? Anything peculiar? Please type it out in the chat. Let's use anything that we have learned so far. Everything goes.
Second
Sir,
and
the
11th.
Rajayoga Karaka is in the 8th house with Bhava Madhya, sir, debilitated.
Must be a weak chart then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, peculiar when you're saying several planets in the 8th house, along with the 8th house. And he's still successful.
Is this a Bhava chart or is this a Rashi?
The
Bhava
debilitated
chart
Venus is with exalted Mercury, right? Is it, but it is in the 8th house, yeah. So this debilitation, exaltation, it cannot be cancelled, right? It's not that strong.
Jupiter in 5th and 9th, sir. And Jupiter aspect.
5th house, 11th house, lords.
Four planets in fifth bhava from Arudha Lagna, including Amatya Karaka and Atma Karaka.
If this horoscope was shown to you when he was just born, what would you say? Let's be frank. Don't bother whether we are so much away from the truth of whatever happened. Just don't bother.
For sure, he'll not be into acting. That's what we think. Because Ketu in Lagna, right? So usually introvert.
And Venus is debilitated. This Venus is there for acting, right? As well for acting or like that.
Fifth bhava itself.
So whatever comes to your mind, please type it out in the chat. Yeah. After a year, we can compare and see what we have said. How much have we grown?
Nichabanga Rajayoga is there, sir.
Okay, start with the most important plus point for this horoscope. What is the longitude and latitude? Allahabad. Allahabad, I think there's only one Allahabad, or there are more than one Allahabad in India?
One, sir.
Only one, I think, right?
One, UP. Actually, my parents are from the same city as
I see.
Amitabh Bachchan, so Allahabad, UP.
So the best positive point is 5th lord in the 5th, sir. With exalted 5th lord.
Don't get subjective. Just think about when you're really looking at a horoscope of today somebody is born with this chart. Just you don't even know.
Sir, even then the 5th lord and 5th is a good
would
point,
you
right, sir?
would you start with some other, because you know he's an actor, you're talking about 5th house.
So
And
we
you
would
were
have
asking
probably
about the
said,
best positive points in the chat, sir. So I'm saying the positive point.
Okay.
so
Whether
we
it
would
is
have
now
probably
or
said,
Okay.
before or
The
not.
best positive point is, can you type it
Jupiter
out?
in,
Yes,
Jupiter
sir.
in fifth,
Fifth
sir.
lord in the fifth. Exalted fifth lord, sir, in fifth house.
Yeah.
Lagna out in fourth, Kendra.
Okay. Just type it out.
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
I'm just, sir, like, is this fifth lord in fifth? It is fifth lord in eighth we need to read, isn't it? Even
I
though
don't
like
know.
it is own house.
No,
Yeah, it is not fifth lord, sir. It is fifth. No, Mercury is the fifth lord. Sorry, sir.
no problem.
Too
No
much.
problem.
Sorry. Jupiter in the fifth. Exalted Jupiter in the fifth.
when he was born, we would have probably said,
Yeah, that's
more
what we
of
are
a-
trying to do. See, we are trying to grow in astrology. So just don't bother. This is Amitabh Bachchan's horoscope. You try to, I mean, just really be genuine in your approach, saying that I mean, this is something very strange horoscope. I can't even trust this horoscope. I don't think it is this horoscope because this is the weakness in this horoscope. Why don't you try like that?
Sir, are you still sharing, sir?
Which one?
Are you still sharing?
No, what Manoj has showed, Amitabh Bachchan's horoscope.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we can see.
Can all see, right?
Guruji, should I add 1 hour daylight saving time extra or something? Is it showing?
You remove that don't want daylight. You just say daylight saving.
Oh, I
Because
see
it's actually not daylight. It is wartime.
Okay.
India, that time the British changed the time. They changed the clock.
Okay. Now I got it.
In Shadbala, which is the strongest graha? In Jehora?
Sun, sir.
Huh? Sun.
Sir, can I say one point, sir?
Please go ahead. Everything is free for
The
all.
fifth lord is exalted, and the exalted planet is in the fifth house, sir.
Okay.
Exalted Jupiter is in fifth house, aspecting moon with the fifth aspect, sir.
Actually, I don't. I think are you looking at some other horoscope, because I can see Jupiter in the sixth house, and we are also typing there. Jupiter is in sixth house.
Jupiter is in move to fifth house, like in Bhava.
Bhava chart, yeah, it's in fifth.
So exalted Jupiter is in fifth house, aspecting moon.
So we would have probably said this person is more. This chart is more of a spiritual person's chart. Without
That's
if we
what.
didn't know he's an actor.
That's what we should say, right? You say what? I mean, you just don't. That's what I'm saying. Sincerely, don't even think it is Amitabh Bachchan. Just look at only the planets and give it a hard try. Be open and say, I don't know. This is
10th Lord in 8th house and 8th Lord in 8th house. So he'll have a long life.
8th Lord in the 8th.
Yes.
Okay, that's long life.
Yeah.
But what is it if it is exalted?
Extremely long life.
Exaltation, what does it do? It increases that to more beneficial, right? Whatever of any graha, debilitation will decrease, exaltation will increase. So once you have determined that this is long life, then more long life or sure long life.
Guruji, Upaketu is in the 7th, and the sloka says the native will be endowed with all kinds of splendor and wealth, will have virtues, be learned in shastras, religious and agreeable. There is no doubt in it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, these are the type of contributions I am asking, are expecting. Please, Prahlad, type it out. Manoj, does this screen show all the upagrahas? No, maybe
Yes, sir,
you
I
need
can
to
do it,
open
sir.
a separate page. It's okay. Yeah. Maybe one of you can, or three of you can always look up the upagrahas and come out with points like this.
Is it fine, sir?
No, that's not the right one. Oh, this is not right.
Upagraha, Mandi, and Pranapada.
No, Ji. Go back. Click on chart options. No, don't type all that. Just click on chart options.
No, I have done it. 1 minute.
No, it's okay. Prahlad, you have your Jehora, right?
Yeah. No, chart, it's very easy. Options for selected chart should be very easy, bro. Yeah. Option, yeah. Click on the first one. Chart planets ascendant. Yeah. And then you scroll. Chart options for selected chart. Planets, lagnas, etc. in chart. First one. Yeah. And then here we have to click on
Will it fill up the
first one.
Will it fill up the entire chart?
No.
Apakrasa, Aprakasha,
Done.
Duma, etc. That one only. Yes. Aprakasha.
Yeah. By the way, it was not Upaketu, it was actually Indrachapa in my previous reading. But Upaketu is also in the 7th, and Indrachapa is in the 7th. Both of that is calling out.
Sir, Arudha
Right, both the
here
slokas.
should be actually in Leo. I don't know why it's showing in Taurus.
Which one?
Arudha Lagna.
Yeah, these softwares, they use not the physical counting of the Upapada and all that.
Sir, according to that, I mean, even then also it is exceptional case. So it will go to the 4th house, sir. Arudha Lagna. It is right, sir. Arudha Lagna.
4, 4. Okay. 4 and 4 opposite. Yeah, 10. Correct. Arudha Lagna is correct. Arudha Lagna is correct in this chart. Everybody knows how to do the Arudha Lagna or any Lagna, any Pada Lagna. Is my mouse pointer showing up on the screen share? No, it won't, right?
No, sir.
Because it's Manoj who's sharing it. Manoj, keep your mouse over ascendant.
But I can give you access, sir. You can control.
No. It's okay. You just say ascendant. Over ascendant, you keep the mouse.
Guruji, Prana Pradhan, the 2nd house, PP. The native will be endowed with abundant wealth and gains, many servants, many children, and be very fortunate.
Where is Pranapada?
2nd.
How do you know?
It's in Pisces. I have the chart.
In Jagannath Hora?
No, in Sri Jyoti.
According to Jagannath Hora, it's in Aquarius.
It is in Aquarius, Guruji.
Now,
here
Pranapada is in? Maybe,
Aquarius,
see, all of you are getting the same ascendant degree, 1553. No, it is based on sun, right?
Okay.
So it's based on sun.
For me, the Lagna is showing 16 degrees and 59.
Adjust it to Chitra. You adjust it to true Lahiri, Chaitra or Chitra Pakshayanamsa.
Just a second.
Then you should all be getting the same. And all of you adjust it to 1543, Allahabad. And with no daylight, whatever, the wartime correction. Because I think he was born during wartime. Okay.
But how are we sure it's Kumbha Lagna? Like,
I know for years this has been in all the magazines. Amitabh Bachchan himself is a follower of astrology. You can see that he is wearing the blue sapphire. Blue sapphire is for Kumbha Lagna.
Jagannath Hora, for the same Lagna degree, the Pranapada is 1651 of Aquarius in Jagannath Hora.
For me, Lagna is 15 now after changing the Ayanamsha.
Okay, do one thing. Still, we come out of this confusion about Upagraha calculation in Jagannath Hora and Sri Jyoti. We will continue with the rest of it. What is a straightaway big plus point in this chart? Like somebody wanted to say but made a mistake about fifth lord is exalted. Maybe, yeah.
Fifth lord is exalted, sir. Fifth lord is exalted, but Mercury is in its own house. But fifth lord is Mercury, right, sir?
Yeah.
It is exalted.
Yeah. So fifth
And
lord
fifth
exaltation.
lord is exalted and having an exalted planet in it.
But afflicted, sir.
Yeah.
Mercury is afflicted. Okay. Afflicted by whom?
Afflicted by both Sun and Mars, sir, because very close degree with Mars. Basically, like it is with Sun, sir. It is combusted.
It is between Mars and Sun, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Guruji, I had one question about the date. This is a US format or Indian format? Because his birthday is October 11th. So the one on the screen.
October. This is October 11th.
It is October 11th, right?
Yeah.
So are you using your Indian date format? Because Sri Jyoti Star by default gives
No,
MM.
they would have said, Manoj would have changed it to Indian format.
Okay, that's what I
And that option is given when you're installing, whether you want to follow the US date. And one small doubt, Guruji, whether Mercury can be called as combustible, because sometimes we hear that Mercury does not have the same damage of combustion as other grahas have.
That was because Mercury frequently gets combust because it has to go over the sun, several times. So that was the reason. But combustion is combustion. There's no exception.
Okay, Guruji.
Yeah.
And the Lagna Lord is very strong, sir. Strength of the Lagna Lord is strong in the both.
Manoj, even in Sri Jyoti, all the time I'm seeing Mars is always strong. Is there an error in Shadbala? Huh?
I have to check, sir. I'll check on that, sir.
You ask him, why is it showing always Mars strong?
Okay.
I've been noticing it for quite some time.
Okay, sir. I'll check. I'll ask him, sir.
There must be an error. Okay. So as far as Shadbala and Vimshapaka, we will rely more upon Sri Jyoti. But these aspects have been adjusted, right? Not any special aspect for Rahu or Ketu.
That we can remove, sir. If we don't want, we can just remove the aspect of Rahu and Ketu.
Okay. Let it always be normal, as though it is like any other graha. You understand? Don't give anything special to Rahu and Ketu. Some people say retrograde planets looks backwards. All that has not been stated. So let's not change the rules. Okay, going back, a honest opinion, I'm not so comfortable with this horoscope. I feel this is a weak horoscope. If you have some statements like that, please go ahead and tell. Or I still feel. See, for example, one of you said, I noticed the 8th Lord in the 8th, long life. In spite of a deadly accident where liters of blood was given to him, I don't know, countless liters of blood, he still made it, right? Okay. That's something peculiar.
So 10th Lord in the 8th work. Looking at the negative side.
Yeah. Like that. I'm looking out for points like that. Oh, I'm so uncomfortable looking at that 10th Lord in the 8th.
Seventh Lord in the 8th is working out.
Saturn in the Aruda Lagna, sir, is also not good.
What is 7th Lord in the 8th?
Saturn in the
issues with the spouse.
Issues with the spouse. 7th Lord in the 8th is a problem in marriage, right?
Sir, we have the exact point here.
So his wife was dominating.
Sir, Venus Yoga Karaka in 8th house, sir.
Definitely bad, right?
But it is moved to own house in Navamsa, sir.
Which one?
Venus moved to own house, sir, like in Navamsa.
Guruji, your Karka in 8th, other people are giving him money, showering him. I don't think it's that bad.
Fourth Lord in the 8th. Comforts at home.
Fourth Lord in the 8th is good, is it, for comforts?
No, it should be bad, right?
Yeah, it should be bad. Fourth Lord in the 8th.
And the ninth Lord in the 8th.
Ninth Lord in the 8th. That's what? Yoga Karaka, fourth Lord and ninth Lord in the 8th.
Ah.
So Rahu Ketu in 1-7 axis, many negative things are mentioned, especially with Rahu in 7th.
Sir, 11th and 5th connection, sir. 11th Lord in the 5th.
There is a planetary war between Mercury and Mars.
See, as soon as you make a statement, complete it with the reading about what is the expectation. Please do not read just the astrological, don't make an astrological statement and leave it off without making something, one statement connected to that. Like I heard a student, I didn't know who it was, 11th Lord in the 5th, and that's it, nothing more. Okay, please don't do that. Now, try to say something about it and then type it out.
So there is a planetary war between Mercury and Mars.
Mercury and Mars is in planetary war. 2238 and
2338.
38. It's still perfectly within 1 degree, right?
Yes, sir. It is if we take it as a conjunction, it is becoming the 5th Lord and the 10th Lord getting connected in the 8th house of transformation. So, and the 2nd Lord going to the 5th, his speech itself became one of the main aspects for, the uniqueness for his acting. Nobody had a voice like him.
So this Mars and Mercury are separated in Navamsha, sir, by one house.
Mars and?
There is a Mars and Mercury war in
Okay,
Rashi
it just
chart
managed to get into the next one because
Yes, sir.
because of 2320 is the point of cutoff point in Navamsha. 20, 2320, 2640, 30. So because it just went into the next Navamsha. Okay. Manoj, set it up to 10th house in divisional chart. Because at least career.
Navamsha 7th house also is afflicted.
Can we get something concrete, some more plus points about this chart? Somebody in the beginning said Arudha Lagna, right? Anything from Arudha Lagna?
Sir, 5th from Arudha Lagna, Atma Karaka and Amatya Karaka together is Jaimini Raja.
Jaimini Rajyoga, okay. Simply, in simple terms, Arudha Lagna is something in very ordinary terms. Anybody wants to say something? Now that you know he's an actor.
It's fifth lord and fifth exalted. Even though it is combusted and in war. And fourth lord and fifth.
Did he have a uniform career as an actor?
No, sir.
No.
At one point, he lost completely everything. That is when we had Rajini and all helping him, by acting movies.
Sir, Upapada Lagna.
Aruda Lagna. 10th lord in first, sir. Even.
Aruda Lagna?
With respect to Aruda Lagna, the 10th lord is in 9th lord and 10th lord are in first house, sir.
What is Aruda Lagna?
How the people look at you.
How the people look at you. Yeah. The people look at him as successful?
Yeah.
Why? Will they look at him as a successful actor? Why?
Sure.
Fifth from Aruda Lagna is very strong.
Very strong, right? Very active.
The only point is moon in the sixth, sir, with respect to Aruda Lagna.
Okay. Only moon has a problem.
Yes.
Guruji, he has Jupiter third from Aruda Lagna, which means he will know when his time has come. I mean, at the time of passing, he'll be aware.
You went to that level, is it? Okay.
Sir, the ascendant degree and Upapada Lagna degree is exactly same, sir. And also almost ascendant degree and Upapada Lagna degree.
You'll always be
same. It will
same.
be the same all the time.
It will be the same all.
Yeah.
Even these Lagnas, these Aruda Lagnas are and the Upapada Lagnas, they are the same. Right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Does Amitabh Bachchan has siblings?
Yes, one elder.
Sir, this ascendant is in Satabisha, Rahu Nakshatra, sir, and moon and his dasha started also was Rahu, sir, and the sun is also in Rahu Nakshatra. He's also in Rahu Nakshatra. He's in Rahu Nakshatra.
Okay.
Moon is in Rahu Nakshatra, not sun.
Guruji, during Mercury Rahu, he has become almost bankrupt.
During
Mercury Rahu.
Fifth lord.
If we take the Dashanath, Mercury as the Mahadasha Lord, sir, Rahu is in the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, and Saturn has 89% aspect on 10th house and is also in the Lagna of the Dasamsa. And most of his success started in Saturn Mahadasha.
Saturn Mahadasha. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Please type it out.
So the only one planet that shifted in his in the Bhava chart is Jupiter, sir. All the other planets are in the same position because the Lagna, the ascendant degree is 15. Nothing changed except Jupiter.
Manoji, what year did you say he lost everything? Mercury Rahu.
Mercury Rahu in 2000, he literally had no money.
Okay.
Manoj, can you roll up the dasha so that we can see before Mercury? Yeah. What was his first one? Was born in which nakshatra?
Swati.
10 degrees.
Satabhi.
Swati. So Rahu. Rahu was his first one, right?
Satabhish.
Swati.
Manuji, why Mercury and Rahu gave him the loss?
I think the explanation is Rahu is 12th from Mercury.
Can you find out when that accident happened?
I think it is during Saturn moon dasha, sir.
1985, sir.
19?
It's 1981.
81, right? Cooley, right? During the shooter of Cooley.
Yes.
81. What was the period? 81.
Saturn sun.
Saturn sun. What is the problem with sun?
Sound Lord.
Sound Lord is Maraka. Okay.
For this ascendant, Jupiter, Sun, and Mars.
So actually happened in 82, sir. Accident.
So moon will be a more possible, right? You know why? Moon will be more dangerous because moon is
Yeah, because it is 6 houses away from Saturn Mahadasha, sir.
exactly
And also
from
it
dasha.
is 6th lord.
Yeah, and it's also 6th lord and it's away from 6th. Okay.
Oh.
Sir, and the accident happened on a Saturn rule day, sir. 26th July 1982.
Wow. Please note it down. 26th July. What is it?
1980. 26th July 1982, sir.
Yeah.
I'll type it, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Saturn.
26 is a Saturn's number. And one of you can generate the chart of that accident. We'll come back to that date.
Guruji, I'm using, I since moon was a, okay. Oh, it won't work. I was trying to.
So moon is 6th house lord, but from Marudha Lagna, which the whole world knows, is again 6th house, right? So from Dashana, that is in the 6th.
Yes.
So it's a public event, and that too, when a celebrity gets injured, it is the hottest, the news, the trending news. Everybody will be only talking about that. So actually what happens with the 8th house grahas like this, you are always susceptible to these dangerous things. Okay, always vulnerable. Be waiting for a dasha and antardasha to ignite the event. So please do not think that this is extraordinary. I mean, in certain ways, it's not. It's actually very unfortunate that. Okay.
Sir, another thing on that day, I just checked the chart. The Tithi was Saptami. Saptami is ruled again by Saturn.
Saptami is ruled by Saturn?
I think so, sir.
Mm-hmm. Are you referring any Panchang book, Muhurta book, and saying that?
Don't remember right now, sir, but.
So, Guruji, the basic question which you asked earlier is, if we didn't know that this was Amitabh Bachchan, we can always say it in hindsight, n number of things, right? But what is it about a horoscope that determines superstardom versus maybe a average star versus somebody? Is there something extraordinary about his chart that tells that he reaches the top of his career in one thing? Can we predict it without saying retrospectively this is why? Yeah.
Do we have exalted planets?
Yes, Jupiter and Mercury.
Okay. And debilitated?
Venus.
Venus. Okay. Which
Sir, in
planet?
Navamsha also Jupiter is exalted, sir.
Navamsha
Because it is
also.
the beginning of the degree. Because it is beginning of the Rashi, 0 degrees. It is
So
in the same position.
So 2 times Jupiter is exalted, right? Both in Rashi
And the
and
debilitated
Navamsha.
Venus is in the same house in the Navamsha.
Okay.
Sorry to talk in between, sir.
It's okay.
Right, but if you see maybe a sizable portion of the people in the world could have exalted Jupiter, but maybe in his case, is there a way to predict it? Is what it is. If we know this is Amitabh, I'm sure everybody can justify why.
Sir, can we look into his starting of the political career and ending of the political career?
No, actually, what Krishna asked the question is really good one. We want the answer from Guruji. What Krishna asked, it's very good question. We don't want to interrupt any other questions, please.
Yeah. So on that question, I think it's one of the reasons could be because the 5th house being strong. Now Jupiter in the 5th house, Lagna Lord is also in a good position.
Yeah, exalted in 6th house, and there is a reason like why it is moved to 5th house. It's only to give good results, and it is very strong even in Navamsha.
And one more point is Jupiter has 7 points, 7 bindus in the Vinashtaka Varga. Only the planet. This is the only planet in Vinashtaka Varga. It has 7 points.
I also have, madam, but I'm not Amitabh.
No, I am referring to the exalted Jupiter and Vargottama Jupiter and
yeah, added points
like
to Jupiter, Pavani.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many of you believe that this horoscope happened only once from the time Earth started? Or human being started?
Me, sir.
Huh?
Me. Because I checked, it is there are no 2 horoscopes same.
It'll never be the same.
No, it can.
That is, these planetary positions won't repeat at all.
They do repeat.
The universe of all the horoscopes that are there has to be repetition, right? Because we can't say that all the horoscope we saw, we didn't see it. But we know that, okay, the Lagna changes every 2.5 hours. We know that the moon changes which is the fastest moving, every maybe 2.5 days or 3 days. Everything else, if you take any particular year, it will not change as much. So if you take Chennai, for example, today, I'm sure that in the span of 2.5 hours, there'll be a number of children maybe that are born, all of us is not consulting us, we don't have access to it. Maybe the primary Rasi chart, I think, will be the same, but secondary charts could change, the D60 or but I don't know how much of an impact those will be. That is my view.
But several babies can be born at the exact same time in the exact
No, I'm
same
not talking about
place.
now. 500 years back, 1,000 years back, 2,000 years back. Anytime in the past, this Jupiter could have been here, Saturn could have been here, Rahu
Yes,
could
sir.
have been here.
Sir, we can check it in this software, sir, whether this chart is repeat. Can repeat it.
No, but logically, without even checking, can you say it must come through the same path again and again?
Sir, Saturn, Jupiter, big planets, they can be same place, but the combination might not have been repeated, sir.
It won't happen at all.
Never, Guruji. Just like in chess. The mathematical laws of permutation combination are too high for all the planets to be in the same house. I mean, in the same pattern.
Yeah, definitely the probability is low that if you look at the whole solar system, for everything to land in the same place. It will happen, but it will be a very long period.
And Guruji, are you also referring to the Upagrahas?
No.
Only these major planets.
If this happens, Upagrahas also will be in the same place.
It will happen, sir, but it takes years and years.
How many years?
Once in like maybe 2-3 decades.
At least once in 30
Even
years.
if it repeats,
Minimum.
it depends on the natives.
Not a decade, like centuries, I mean to say.
See, even if
For some combinations, I have gone till 9,000 years back also, 9,000, 10,000 also, but never I found a chart similar.
You went year by year.
Yeah, in Sri Jyoti, we can run it, sir. You can set a date and you can go maximum, and it will keep checking whether that combination is repeating again and again. So I have gone till 10,000 years also, and we don't find the same chart.
It happens only once.
Suppose even if it repeats, the Desha Kala Patra will play as well as the action the individual takes. Just because you have the potential to become great doesn't mean everybody takes that same path.
Was there ever a possibility to become this famous in those days?
In a different way, maybe.
But the tendencies, the tendency, love for acting and.
See, when Ajit Kumar's movie is released, it is released all over the world at one time. So in the past, did anybody get that kind of a name fame?
There were many, Guruji.
No, sir, like Prahlad mentioned, it is called Desha Kal Patra.
Anyway, there weren't actors, right, in those days. They only drama act.
And there were jesters, Guruji.
Huh?
Jesters.
How far their name will be known?
Probably not much.
Maybe 10 kilometers?
How
100 kilometers.
about musicians? Tansin?
Okay, one person. Okay. Even then, he'll be only known to certain people, right?
No, even outside his field, his name is coming in history books, Guruji.
Now, today, the lay person is having a cell phone. So he'll have access to knowledge.
Guruji, if these combinations weren't repeating, then how did Parashara or Brigu come up with saying, let's say sun in the 8th house, the person will get hurt in the 10th year in the head without any benefic aspect? So, because they knew it will keep repeating, right? So,
Guruji is saying the exact same placements.
So is the question more clearly, will the horoscope positions for each planet change, or can there be only one person having it?
Not in this current time, but across years, across centuries.
It's almost
Saturn come back to the same point. Can Jupiter come back to the same point? And Rahu come back to the same point?
Yes. So the Hindu concept is our time is cyclical, not linear. So it is possible, because if you think about the slowest moving planet, it's Saturn. Every 30 years, it will come to that same spot. Jupiter every year. By everything else, I think if we exhaustively see it, I'm sure in the history at some point it will come. Or it will come in the future.
Yeah, but for all 9 planets to line up in the same position is the mathematical probability is very low. Which means it will happen over a very long period of time.
Yes, but it's not impossible, right? So that's why it is cyclical. We even talked about how Ravana wanted all the planets to be in one place. So maybe it was a special event that somebody could have engineered, or Krishna saying sun and moon changing even the Amavasya day by 1 day. So there could be some extraordinary events also that change it if we believe it. Right, but otherwise,
no, but my question was, if we are reading the results of, let's say, Sun in the 8th house now, and after 50 years also, if we find these planets, we'll still be reading the same results, right? So then the combinations, which means it will continue to occur in 1 day, maybe not decades or maybe years, like they said, 100 or 200 years or whatever down the line.
So you are reading combinations that are repeatable, right? Any combination, by whatever you say, it must have happened before also. Only if you say a result based upon Mars in 22 degrees, Sun in 24 to 25 degrees, Mercury at 23, 28, 38, Venus at 15, 14. If you had made some statements based on that, then it may not repeat. But suppose you say, for people who have Lagna Lord in the 4th, then this is the result. If Ketu is in Lagna, then this is the result. That is repeatable, right?
Yes, so even after 50 years, if you find someone with the same combination, it will be the same results, isn't it? So
yeah, you will get the same result. Okay. So what are the minus points in this horoscope?
This 8th house domination, sir.
the main minus I look at it immediately is the 9th Lord Fortune going to the 8th house. So and debilitated.
Suppose you imagine that I am like that, you have to say to yourself, I am Amitabh Bachchan. How would I rate my life? What did he say about yourself?
Okay, sir. It's not like really, not like too many positives, except that Jupiter in 5th house exalted. And many planets are in 8th house. And usually, like right after we see this chart, like we see 4 grahas like in 8th house.
Sir, Jupiter is also in Punarvasu Nakshatra, sir. It is in its own nakshatra, sir. Jupiter is the only planet here highlighting. It's the highlight of this chart, maybe, sir.
Yeah, that is the savior.
Too many things about Jupiter.
Too many positives. Regarding Jupiter, sir. It is Vargottama. It is its nakshatra, and the 7 bindus in Vinashtak Varga exalted.
And this is the only planet that
11th
is
Lord. Yeah. 2nd Lord and 11th Lord. It's gains Lord, right?
Sir, even Saturn is as important as Jupiter, sir, in this chart.
And Jupiter is in its own house in D10.
Sir, Lagna Lord in the 4th house, sir.
And aspecting the 10th and
so it is aspecting the 6th house.
Own house, right? In the sorry.
Yeah, Pavani, please go ahead.
And Saturn is aspecting its Lagna. It's same, its own house, Lagna.
And I don't know about this Amitabh's life story, maybe, but Mars is in the 8th, which is also like a marriage challenges or trouble.
And the Jupiter is Dharakaraka. Sorry.
Mars in the 8th, can you say it's more to do with
Yeah, without the
accident-
loss, yeah, it is like a Kuja dosha, right?
Mars in the 8th is usually bad.
Yeah.
It is one
So
of
it
the
has-
combinations for sudden death through accidents or assassination.
Yeah.
Mercury Shadbala seems to be very high. Can somebody switch to the Shadbala?
Yeah, so what we'll do, Manoj, can you use the same time and show Jagannath Hora for some time?
Yes, sir. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Guruji, isn't Saturn in the 4th considered to be like a slightly afflicted position?
Why?
I don't know, because they say like it takes away like happiness from the mother. So I don't know what his relationship in his early childhood was, but sometimes it says it produces challenges with the mother. It could affect the mother's health, etc.
No, but if you have a contra to, opposite of that, if the Lord of the first is in the 4th, then you have Pitrubhagya, Matrubhagya, and charming, virtuous, those points, right? And then Saturn
Right,
is exalted. Saturn is exalted also. These are additional points. And
so
it
when
is
you do the
retrograde.
stack up,
It is retrograde. Yeah, it's retrograde. So without referring to Amitabh Bachchan, we will try. Okay, whatever we want to say, you can simply say, not even Amitabh, but this person, whosoever horoscope is this. Next time it comes before us similar conditions, we will say the same thing. Okay.
Right. Okay,
like
thank you,
that we
Guruji.
should say, yeah, like that we should say something. And then say, okay, this many things tallies with general astrology and this much didn't.
Yes, sir. I have it.
Yeah, this is the one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you see
So in
here,
general-
Mars is weak in Shadbala. Do you see that? You have to contact the author of Sri Jyoti and remind him that something is wrong with Mars.
I'll try to fiddle around, sir. If in case if it is not there, then I will, probably reach out to him.
Yeah. You can check it out again and again if you compare. Okay.
So how many points are needed, Guruji, for Shadbala to be strong? Minimum? Is there any requirement like that? Or is you just comparing
100.
other planets?
In this, it is 100. Anything less than 100 is weak.
And what about medium and very good?
No, anything less is weak. Anything more is strong.
Okay, anything more than 100 is strong.
Yeah. And more the marks, the stronger it is. And if you see something jumping forward, leaping forward, standing tall, that's something of a message. Something that stands out. Like in Ishtaphala, you can see Mercury standing tall in a very different way. Always look out for extremes in any horoscope. Why is it stand Ishtaphala? Ishta means liking. Okay. And that happens to be his 5th lord of name, fame.
Sir, his liking, sir. Ishtaphala.
Not his liking. Something of that house.
I don't know what I have to understand with the Ishtaphala, sir.
Mercury likes him, like that you can say.
Okay.
So then you'll have to find out what likes him. So Mercury is 5th lord. So 5th house likes him.
Okay, so what does that mean? Like Mercury likes him, so he will be having, the qualities of Mercury stronger, and the bhavas would be activated a lot.
Yeah. So what is 5th house? Name, fame, recognition, entertainment, sports. See, the only way to read it is you need not say it is Amitabh Bachchan, but you can simply say he'll be good at sports, he can be good at movies, he will be good at gambling. Like that you should say.
So if the Ishtaphala is high, can we also say that that particular dasha will be very, very favorable? Or?
That we cannot say, because that rule was not written so strongly by Maharshi. Maharshi always says Vimshopaka Bala is directly connected to the dashas. The first one, the first chart.
Okay.
In Nishtha, it is the quality of that planet likes you and does not like you.
Okay.
Like this, all this is only stack up once again. And the most important one is only Vimshopaka and Shradbala. But in any other chart, you see something, jutting out like that, going leaping, standing out separately as a very different something, then you have to give importance.
Guruji, here Mercury rules both 5th and 8th house, so it will give the 8th house also in Nishtha.
Also yes. This accident, how did it happen? Anybody knows how it happened?
Guruji, in the meantime, in Vimsopaka, do we see Rahu and Ketu or no?
No.
He mistimed the jump, sir, during a shooting of a scene.
Already hit himself against something. Maybe.
He was not able to duck from the opposing actor's blow, actually.
He was fallen off of a big wall, sir, like 20 feet wall or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Sir, jumping, sir. He mistimed a jumping.
Now,
8th house is the Mula Trikona, no? So shouldn't more of the 8th house show? For Mercury?
No, it can show 8th house also. It did show, right?
The Ashtaka Varga, I don't know if that one shows the relative strengths of everything. 8th house shows it's very weak.
Where?
If you go to that Ashtaka Varga for that.
Not this chart. Okay. Who is sharing this? Manoj? Manoj, they would want to see the Ashtaka Varga scores.
1 month.
That basic one. Are you having time, Manoj?
Yes, sir. I'm completely free.
Free, okay. So a lot of low score there and 42 in the 6th house.
If you can click on the Ashtaka Varga.
Yeah. I can see 42 in 6th house and 20 in the 8th house.
So it's a bit confusing. That means 8th house, even though Mercury is there, even though 8th lord in the 8th house, it is still his weakest point almost. With 7.
Yeah, they say, he himself said that was his rebirth. He actually went into unconsciousness and that was near death. He could have died on that day.
But Guruji, Jupiter's aspect, we don't have to worry, isn't it? So
Jupiter aspect on
Lagna, so
it is there 88%, right? Now.
Manoj, please show the aspects on Jagannath Hora.
Because let's.
Why is it coming only this? It won't come bigger.
Even the Amatya Karaka is Mercury, sir, the 5th lord.
Okay, that's enough. Yeah. So Jupiter looking at Lagna is 53. Okay. No, this is out of 60. Manoj, please ask. Manoj, just change it to 100. We are used to 100.
Is 88, sir.
Yeah. So 82%, 88% on Lagna. Quite high score. Jupiter saving the ascendant.
So if I had not known this, if let us say we are viewing this chart now, I wouldn't be bothered much about the health because lifespan because of the Mercury exalted in the 8th house, Lagna Lord in 4th, and also the Navamsa is in Vargottama is the same as Rasi, which is another indicator for Dirghayul. And Jupiter's aspect on 88% on the Lagna. So all this, if this person had come to me, I would have said only Dirghayul. But I would have kept an eye on the 6th house, saying that he might go through some, depths or some medical issues because of the high points. And I would have gone with accident, like car accident, because Saturn in the 4th house and the Karaka for vehicles, Venus is debilitated. So I would have taken that route. So,
but again, we can slightly modify it once you know. Yeah, that's right. That's a honest way of reading it. Like simply saying, I would have used Venus like this. This is what I wanted the class to say. And then I would, then I would say, but Venus is also movies.
Okay, but I would have definitely wouldn't have wrapped my head around how when 5th Lord is in the 8th and how did he get the career in movies. So in spite of being the 8th, because you always said there has to be a 10th Lord association. So do we have to take Mars as getting associated in the 8th house? Is that how we have to look at it? Or because I don't find that in Dasamsa also, 5th and 10th connection. So.
But there is 5th and 11th connection here.
How?
11th Lord in 5th house, right, sir? Jupiter.
Okay. And the 5th Lord exalted. Only that much we got, right?
Sir, I have one doubt here, sir. Can I ask?
Yeah.
The chase double of Mars is near to 0, sir. I mean, what can we deduce from that, sir?
Chase double of
Mars is 0, sir. Is coming to 0.4.
Where is that? Where is it? Where can you see it?
The Shadbala breakup.
Shadbala breakup.
The Shadbala breakup, you will get Jeshtabala.
It's going to be stationary, I think, sir. Mars.
Yeah.
It's in the 8th.
Can someone show that in Shadbala?
So these are smaller points. So let's not get carried away by these points. We'll discuss it some other situation.
Yes.
Right now,
but regarding this chase.
Yeah, we'll get back. Our concentration should be, what are the points? Like, for example, was it Varman who said, I would have said like this? Something like that. We are looking for statements like that.
Yes, sir. Got it. It's good total.
So how do we connect the 8th house, all these planets in the 8th house to career, acting career?
So the connection of the 5th Lord, 10th Lord, and the 4th Lord, sir.
Can you say he had a continuous career?
It is just like gambling, sir. It's not always high, sir.
No, sir, because 10th Lord is in 8th house, right? So he has ups and downs in his career for sure.
Yeah. So he has ups and downs.
Those are sudden changes.
That is 8. But
yeah. Please, sir, please go ahead.
Yeah, but then the Lord of the 10th and the 5th Lord together, though in a planetary war, is in a conjunction, right? So there is a connection between 5 and 10. And what about the 11th Lord in the 5th? The Bhava chart.
So even if it is happening in the 8th house, it doesn't matter. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. even in the 8th.
Sir, the Arudha Lagna of 10th house is in the Jupiter exaltation house, sir.
Arudha Lagna 10th is?
8 and is in Jupiter in Cancer, sir, where Jupiter is exalted. The Arudha Lagna of the 10th house.
Okay.
Sir, but his profession was not pertained only to acting, sir. He came into production also, the big productions, and then coming into TV, where he became the key factor of Kaun Banega Crorepati. So it is not just the acting career that he was focused, because if we see the degree of the 7th lord, it's also again very close to the 10th lord.
Yeah, maybe if someone comes and asks for career in movies, right? I would have told maybe behind the scenes, like a director, they can try as a director or producer, like behind the scenes, not the screen presence, because there is a connection like 5th and 10th, but they're in 8th house, right? So usually 8th house is which is not publicly visible. That's what I would have told.
Yeah, I mean, on one side, his career was reasonably good, right? I mean, it may have started a little late, but the career and his adulation was always high. But here you have even the Saturn afflicting the 10th and 10th in 8th. So I would not have said that his career is going to be phenomenal.
How is Saturn afflicting 10th?
It's aspecting, no? 89%.
But what's wrong with that?
And in retrograde.
Yeah, that's not bad because it is his Lagnadipati, right? So you'll have to only read it as Lagna connecting to 10th.
Mm-hmm.
See, you'll have to talk from Saturn's point of view. I am Saturn. I am your Lagna Lord. I am in Kendra. I'm looking at your 10th house. So it will not be bad.
So his efforts into the 10th house. So it's usually
so let's say I am. Yeah, it's almost like I'm in 10th because my view is on 10th. I'm looking at 10th.
My own efforts goes into profession.
My own effort. So maybe I'm my own physical. My own body is being used here.
Is that dharma karma, Guruji, as well? Is that a dharma karma connection as well? Or
9, 10.
Okay, that's 9 and 10. Okay.
Dharma is 9, 10.
I think Guruji, the confusion comes here around. Confusion comes here around is like I think one of the basic sessions I heard is always the benefic, natural benefits aspect, even though they are functionally malefic, the natural benefits aspect is benefic. And I think I don't know if they have told, like maybe in one of the revision class, like this discussion came up recently. If the naturally malefic planets, even though they are benefic functionally, would their aspect be malefic or benefic? That's the confusion many people might have. So here the Saturn's aspect, because they brought up a point, right? Saturn's aspect on 10th, usually because it's a malefic planet, they are considering, okay, even though it's Lagnadipati, they might have considered it as, okay, he's a malefic planet naturally, so it gives a malefic effect, or not it does not support.
If my understanding is correct with respect to his point, but Saturn aspecting its own house, the 10th house is the number one dignity. And when the Lagna Lord is aspecting its own Lagna, it is one of the great strengths for the Lagna, sir. That itself would, help him to overcome all the hurdles to fight.
So you're saying here, so Saturn's aspect, okay. So Saturn, yeah, he's a 10th house owner naturally, right? You're saying from the Kala Purusha.
Yes. No.
Okay.
From here.
No, he's talking about Saturn looking at the Lagna itself. By its 10th house aspect.
Okay. Got it.
So what he's saying is Saturn is looking at his own house.
Okay.
But whereas the other example that he used, Saturn is looking at the house of Mars.
Yes.
So your point that Saturn is afflicting the 10th house. In a way, you can say that, but usually we don't, we don't give so much importance to a house aspect. we give more importance to if somebody was there in that house, in the 10th house. Let's say some planet was there. Then the planet receives a malefic aspect. There we would use the malefic aspect thing.
Okay, Guruji. So here you say like, aspect. Yeah. I think you told this once before, like for me.
Yeah.
Conjunction, like place. Yeah.
Yeah, it is like I am looking at another person. Therefore, I'm afflicting that. Looking at a house is not the same intensity. There's nobody there. So usually the aspects are stronger between planets and not just over houses. But if you look at another way of generating statements, you can forget the benefic and the malefic role about it and simply use the same idea that I used here by saying that I am Saturn, I am Lagna Lord, I am in my 4th house looking at the 10th, like that. Like that, you can make statements out of every aspect, and it will help you a lot in reading something about the person. But when you say that there is an affliction to the 10th house by Saturn, it is true. Simply because it is a natural malefic. But if that house had a planet, if it had a planet, it afflicts very, very strongly. Like example, Mars was there. Then you will have to say Mars is afflicted by Saturn. There you will not say, no, Saturn is Lagna Lord, therefore it doesn't afflict Mars. You cannot say that.
Got it.
So on the house, the aspect is different from on the planets.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
No, we were saying that you could make statements like this. Like, where am I looking? I'm connected to that house. Those kind of statements. One of the houses for mass attraction is actually 4th house.
Local. That's right.
Why? Mass attraction.
Own country.
Which are the planets for mass attraction?
Saturn.
Saturn is one. Other one?
Saturn.
There's
Rahu.
one more planet. No. It's not Mars. No, it's not Rahu.
Venus?
Moon, sir?
Moon. It is moon. Only 2 grahas. In Kalapurusha, the moon owns the 4th house. So 4th house is a very good house for mass attraction. Your life will become more comfortable if you have fan following, right? Mass attraction. Everybody will take care of you. They'll lift you and go. You'll become more comfortable. So Saturn, Lagna Lord sitting in the 4th itself is one of the points for mass attraction. Because Saturn is the Karaka for mass.
Sir, one question here. When we see the aspect table, should we see from Bhava chart or? Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Please tell me.
Yeah. So the aspect table, we should see from Bhava chart or the Rashi chart in this, because both degrees will change, right? Bhava gives the exact Bhava. So we have to see the Drishti from
whatever you see in the aspect table is only taken from exact degrees as in Rashi chart. It's not Bhava chart, but it will somehow tally with the Bhava chart. But the calculation is based on there are no degrees in Bhava at all. There are no degrees in divisional chart. Right. All that is today modern, programmers are doing all this.
Right.
There are no degrees.
Because I think Jagannath Hora writer actually, he did that. Yeah.
Yeah. So aspect is only Rashi only. Okay.
Sir, I have one question, sir, regarding Gajkesari Yoga in this chart. According to the rules for Gajkesari Yoga are all satisfied, sir, but Jupiter is conjunct or aspected by benefics, it is not satisfied, sir. But even though we can take it as Gajkesari Yoga, sir.
No, it's not, because you need Kendra connection to it.
No, Jupiter in 14710.
Okay, from moon. From moon. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Jupiter is not debilitated, not combust, not in inimical sign.
Not in inimical and not. Yeah, correct. From moon, of course, there is Gajakesari, yes.
Sir, I have one point.
Jupiter is not afflicted, sir. First, it is not common, sir.
Yeah, it is very, very different kind, right? That's what you're saying.
Sir, I have one point to make here. Probably I could be wrong too. Sir, the Gajakesari yoga is the most common yoga that we can see in most of the people's chart. If that was the case, we should have seen most of them, getting the same fame and name. So if my understanding is correct, the Gajakesari yoga would have worked more predominant when he would have gone through a Jupiter moon or moon Jupiter.
There's one of the points, Manoj, in the stack up. All these yogas are one more point only.
Yes, sir. That's what, sir. Yeah. So just because everybody has the Gajakesari yoga, it will not give the name and fame. So probably if they would have gone through the dashas, right, then that period we can actually look in for more, benefits from the yoga.
No, Gajakesari yoga means the effect of Jupiter on the Jupiter positivity, right? It will be throughout the life, right?
It will be on the background. Yeah, it'll always be on the background. It'll be, like a synopsis type of reading. Always having a good Jupiter from the moon in a Kendra.
Will you also consider if they own the Dusthanas?
No, there we don't use that rule. It's only from the moon.
So Guruji, sorry, go on.
No, I think I got it. Yeah, thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Guruji, so if this person had come to us when he was young and because he has a lot of planets in the 7th and 8th house, so could we have advised that, not to mingle with too much person because again, Venus is debilitated and since 6th house has a lot of points, then there might be some diseases related to Venus?
Yes. But he had hepatitis C, I think, right? And we do not, they say blood transfusion, he got it.
He had something called as myasthenia gravis.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, I remember this when I was a young kid. I was asked this question in a quiz competition.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know. It's an affliction of the bones, I think. Or the marrow. I'm not sure exactly. Long back.
Bone marrow.
Maybe. But he needs constant blood transfusion.
So many bottles of blood was given, right? And in the blood transfusion, he got infected. Do you know what is hepatitis
all
C?
these things also, sir, he overcame COVID very easily. When people were surviving, struggling to survive, at this age, he contracted COVID and he was back to home in like 5-6 days.
It could have been because of the Jupiter's aspects. So.
Guruji, you were saying something about hepatitis C. What were you going to say?
No, all that from his point of view, life is so much struggle. Mars in the 8th is something to do with blood.
The blood transfusion, that infection, that resulted in hepatitis C? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But usually hepatitis C is a B or C, I don't remember. Was it a B or C? Can somebody Google and find out? B, I think, right? So once you have this 6th house, so much points, you're basically having lots of problem in the 6th house. What is the 6th house? That's where he got hurt, I think.
Diseases, enemies, obstacles, your daily work.
In the body, where is the 6th house? Below the rib cage. What are the organs there? You have a
intestine.
whole lot of organ there. No. Above the intestine. So you have liver there, right? So 6th house is typical liver. Pancreas, the real stomach, not the abdomen stomach. In India, we call, stomach overall. It's not stomach. Esophagus. So esophagus the early part of the digestion tract, including gallbladder and liver, everything comes under 6th house. So more the points you have in Sarvasha Varga, that particular place becomes a problem. And he was, I mean, it was a freak accident actually, very rare type. So Kishore, you said something about why he needed the blood transfusion. What was the thing? That he has to keep on changing his blood?
Yes, the name of that affliction is myasthenia gravis.
Okay, what is the treatment, line of treatment for that?
I don't know, Guruji. I have to refer. Shall I check it up, Guruji?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was hepatitis. Wait a minute. I'm also on Google right now. Just 1 minute. Oh, okay.
Hepatitis B, sir. Hepatitis
B. Yeah. Of the many who donated, there was one unaware fan who carried the hepatitis B virus. World Hepatitis Day and Amitabh Bachchan, the Hindu. Oh, okay. We got something to share. Manoj, can I share the screen?
The tuberculosis also is there, sir, in the list of diseases for him.
Are you able to see this? 75% of my liver is gone. I was diagnosed as tuberculosis.
Yes.
That is expected because of 5th and 8th pulmonary disorders, isn't it?
Pulmonary disorders, okay. That is statement by Maharshi, right?
Yes, 5th and 8th.
But surprising, because of his long life, he survived even the COVID.
The Lagna Lord aspecting the Lagna, then we have Jupiter aspecting the Lagna.
Correct.
What
correct.
dignity he wants us to fight.
So the fight thing also. When was he financially down? Which year?
99 to 2000 actually.
Manoj, can you share that?
Because Amitabh Bachchan Corporation was a big flop, sir.
ABC.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It was 97, 98, I guess. Let me check.
Yeah, I mean, 98, 99, 2000, those were the times when he contemplated many things. He was almost bankrupt on the roads, according to his own words, actually.
Okay, if it is according to his own words, can we check the Dasha and Antardasha?
It is founded in 1995, sir.
Now,
when did he have the greatest?
There was a statement made by him where he says that when the whole world is, fighting for, enjoying millennium, I'm struggling with my finances.
Oh. So that was Mercury Rahu, I think.
Yes, sir.
And he got back into fame again through this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, like Kaun Banega Karodpati, like started in year 2000, sir.
That's right.
The same Dasa Bhukti. Was it the same time he was almost bankrupt? He got this offer?
No, sir. No.
Probably
Mercury Rahu.
Mercury Mars would have started, sir, and it would have showed up in the year 2000, and post that the same dasha would have helped him to, recover also.
Yeah. Before that, he was wearing all the wrong gems. Later, after this incident, some astrologer guided him with a blue sapphire. He was wearing it on the middle finger.
The name, I think, of that astrologer was Vejan Daruwala, right, Guruji?
Okay, yeah, I think so. And then after seeing the success, he added one more ring. So at one point in time, he was wearing 2 blue sapphires on his middle finger, Saturn's finger. But Saturn can...
So what I was saying was, 10th Lord in the 8th, from a business standpoint, is not good. Lost house. So when he lost his money, it was because of his business venture, I think. Because it
Very
was
good.
his,
Very good. Nice point. So suppose you see a person with Rahu in the 7th and the Lord of the 7th moving into the 8th house, and then on top of that 10th Lord in the 8th and etc. And seeing 6th house is having so many points, you should flatly say never try business. That's all.
Even I think in Bofo scam, like some scam is there related to Amitabh. Maybe he's involved or not, but at that time it was more famous with Amitabh name.
See, one of the things we would always use for whether I can do business or not is the third house lord. Correct? Is that right or not?
In 11th.
Where should the third house lord be so that you can be very sure that it is good?
11th, sir.
11th. So from that, you know, because you see what the Rishi has said. 1 minute, I'll open that. Third lord in the 11th, gain in trading. From this one statement, what can you say? What is the thing that you can decipher? Third lord in the 11th. Why gain in trading? Both are karma houses.
Because
both are karma, desire houses. But third means my own effort. 11th means gains. So from this statements like this, in future, you should all know how to get extra knowledge from a sloka. Then read third lord in the 8th. Okay, it's not good, right? All of that is bad. So if you do cumulative method of reading, why so many points in the 6th house? Why do you have Rahu in the 7th? And the lord of the 7th, dispositor, has gone into the 8th. The 10th lord has gone into the 8th. With so many points against business, you should say flat, don't try business at all, be employed. In movies, you know, you're employed. You're not the boss. Somebody is there who will give you salary.
Yeah, even Kaun Banega Crorepati,
It's a salary based, right?
Salary, yeah.
Yeah, it's not his program. He's not conducting it himself. He's not the owner, the business owner. Somebody is doing it. So, so if this person had come to you when it was a baby and the mother had come for consultation, you should say, be very careful with his health and this and that, you know, at that particular point in time, you'll have to do this remedies. He's weak, he's vulnerable, and so on. And then say, never step into business. But the person will have a lot of name and fame because the Lagna has got so much points. The Lagna, the 4th house, the 11th house, they all got good points. And Lagna Lord is in the 10th. See, I actually wanted to say that Saturn is the key here. That Saturn, the Lagna Lord is in the 4th. And Ketu doubles up as Saturn because Ketu's dispositor is Saturn. So Ketu in Lagna is good. Okay.
Sir, can you explain that more, sir? So can you explain that more, sir, regarding Ketu?
Ketu's dispositor is who?
Saturn.
Saturn is in the 4th house. So Ketu will become like Saturn in Lagna. So that becomes good.
Is that true for
so
any
even Rahu is there in
anybody?
In the
And one more thing about Ketu in Lagna is quite different from Rahu in Lagna. Ketu in Lagna means one of the yoga, one of the textbooks by B.V. Raman says Vikrama Karaka. Ketu in the 1st house, Vikramaditya, like that. Fighter, survivor, fighting against all odds. If Ketu sits in Lagna.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. Okay. So, like this, it'll be difficult, I'll admit, because this horoscope is a mix of many things in one horoscope. The plus and minus have come, and most of the time he was having some health problem and so on. And ABC flopped. But something, you know, again and again, he kept coming back. He kept coming back because of the overall strength of the other grahas. Okay.
Even though Jupiter is so plus positive in this chart, sir, you would say Saturn is the highest plus in this chart, sir?
Yeah, Saturn is the highest plus.
Okay. Okay.
The fighter planet Mars is not good, no?
Which one?
Strength. The Mars fighter. The Shadbala is.
Yeah, Mars is weak, actually. In this, it shows wrong Shadbala. Jagannath Hora has given you the right Shadbala. Mars is weak. So the third lord, again and again, it is showing weakness only.
So Guruji, you said like Mars in 8 is usually bad. That's
Blood related.
Blood related. Okay. Can we consider the same if he's Lagna Lord also?
No, not like that. There it is not so much. Here it is an afflictor of fifth lord, fifth house factors, which is, it's a definite afflictor of this horoscope, Mars. There's no doubt about it. So, whenever Mars afflicts, actually, it has something to do with the stunt scene, right? There was a fight, and in that he didn't handle it properly. I think there was some jumping to do, and a mistiming of I don't know whether really it was a punch that sent him down, and he hit something on the table. I do not know what that was.
Jumping was.
Guruji, I have a question, Guruji. Girish here. When we see this fifth lord, and also all we are deriving from the Rashi chart.
Guruji is telling you to wait.
Oh, okay. Oh, did he?
Yeah, he just raised his hand.
He's on a phone.
Oh, he's on a phone. Okay. Sorry.
Whenever we get a chance, I also wanted to ask, does Rekha, like that angle shows up or not in terms of the marriage?
Okay, there was some yoga that I read about dispositor being exalted, and that changes the entire chart. Here I'm seeing the Lagna's dispositor is exalted. There was some yoga mentioned. I forgot the name. I thought it was too advanced for me and I skipped the page.
I'm sorry about that. What was that? When the student was saying something?
Quick question, Guruji. When we see the fifth lord is in 8th or 12th, or do we need to refer only in the Rashi chart, or in Bhava chart it also changes, right? So should we need to compare with the Bhava chart also, because it will be in the
case it didn't change. It didn't change.
Yeah. I mean, generally, not.
It's always the final word will only be Bhava.
Okay. That's a good point. Thank you.
But in 8th house, there's always something else. Lottery comes under 8th house. Sudden wealth also comes under 8th house. Okay. So 8th house is a very tricky house. Yeah, insurance.
That's insurance, ancestral.
Yeah. So sudden unexpected wealth also is connected to the 8th house. So this horoscope is a mix of these things. So it takes some time and effort to find out.
Sir, 8th house is also your wife's parents, wife's family, right?
Yeah. Because it is second from 7th.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another horoscope. Manoj, you can stop sharing.
Guruji, meanwhile, one more question. You were saying that when the Jupiter is debilitated, Kesari Yogam, you will not be there. But if there is a Nija Banga for that Jupiter, whether Kesari Yogam can be there?
No, with the definition of Gajagesri, it won't be there. But maybe some other Nichabanga Raj Yoga might crop up, but not the typical Gajagesri.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if Jupiter is...
I have to open a file. This will be for homework, and we will maybe if we don't do it immediately now, we will continue it in some other session. Now this comes as a surprise. Okay. What are you seeing now?
Not showing anything, sir. Like it's trying to get.
It's just
Kumbha Lagna, sir.
Kumbha Lagna.
This is the horoscope of an actor.
So don't reveal the name of the actor, Guruji. Let's guess it.
No, I won't give you the entire horoscope because there are people out here who can actually find out the date of birth. Okay.
That's so Manoj and Pallavi, so not to tell.
I tried doing that, Guruji, all by myself, but I could not go beyond the moon's placement.
One day I'll teach you that. With
Yes, Guruji.
just 5 questions, you can create any horoscope, whatever you want. It's so simple. That's a trick that Nadi centers are using.
Yeah. The
How's
big
this
planets.
one? How's this?
It is same Amitabh Bachchan's one only.
It is almost like Amitabh Bachchan, sir.
This person will
Guruji, whatever you say, if it is going to give us a strong hint.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. What should I say?
Saturn, very Saturn, sir.
It's like saying checkmate in 3 moves.
Yeah, you will be more interested. I'll give you one clue. You will be more interested in this person than Amitabh Bachchan.
Kamala Hassan.
Okay.
Mercury is ahead of Sun, sir. Yes.
Rajinikanth.
I understood, sir, what aspect you were mentioning.
Yeah, so you don't give any clue, okay?
Sir, I don't know about the person, but the way you told, I have a possibility of thinking like, is it a male, female, sir?
Yeah, it is a female.
Yeah, Lalita.
What is the question, Guruji? What do we have to tell?
Jayalalitha is Gemini ascendant.
Don't they have to be born at a similar time for 4 planets to land in the same house in the same 10-year time frame? They have to be born very similar.
These smaller grahas, that is planets that are closer, to us, they keep repeating the positions so many times.
Yeah.
So it's not like what you think. The same horoscope will repeat n number of times. But
3 of these 4 are always together, almost all the time.
Almost, yeah. But now all you need is to have Lagna there. And Jupiter will come back once in so many years, once in 12 years, and once in 30 years, Saturn will come. So once every 60 years, Saturn and Jupiter will be in the same place. And for Rahu to be in the same place, it will be once in 18 years. So if you take the least common multiple, it will be 180 years. 180 years, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, all must come somewhere around that same place. With a little bit of adjustment in the Bhava chart, you can get back the position. But what software that, Manoj used, in that we don't have this, inbuilt into the Bhava chart. So if you keep shifting the Bhava, you will get everything there again and again. So I want to tell you out of this one thing, that it's not exactly that somebody will become an actor. It's not that. It's not even fame, name. Of that, how much effect it will have on you, how much happiness, unhappiness, how much disease you will have, how much competition you will have, how much of bad and good times you have. Only this is there in astrology. Don't ever think that the horoscope will say, all of us will now have computers, whereas the kings of 500 years back didn't have a mobile phone. It doesn't have a fan. It doesn't have an AC. I'm living better than a king or an emperor so many years back. I'm having vaccines. I'm having medicines. And I'm having lots of things which they didn't have. So who's luckier? It's not that. That day, whatever he was, he felt, I am great. It's only a reference. That day, whatever he said would still happen, whereas whatever I say will not happen. So don't think the horoscope will say what date you will consider an astrologer, how much, it's not exactly like that. So don't ever break your head on that, which place you will be. But people will make it out like that. So while I was looking at a person's horoscope, he was continuously asking the same question: when will I get my job? Where will I get my job? Where will I get my job? So I knew it was something to do with Jupiter. So I drew imaginary line northeast. And the first city that came to my mind was Hong Kong. So I said, you'll get a job in Hong Kong or in that direction. But he left everything. Actually, he found a job in Hong Kong. His life changed after that. So he went around the world telling that astrologer Dhilip Kumar told me I will get a job in Hong Kong before this date, and I got it. So the next time people come to me, they'll say, you told for him, same way you tell which country I'll get, which city I'll get. Do you see the similarity in this horoscope? But Saturn is not in the same place.
So where is the moon, sir? Oh, sorry.
Please do not share this in any other public places.
This chart has perfect Gajkeshari Yoga, sir.
Perfect Gajkeshari Yoga. Wow.
So this person might have an extramarital affair. 100%.
No, when you make a statement, please say why.
Yeah. So Saturn is in Karkataka. The people who are in Karkataka with a Saturn, definitely they will have some extramarital affair in their life.
Is this your own rule?
My experience.
Okay.
That's like everyone born in 2.5 years at that time. They will
No. He added one more parameter to it. He said it should be 6th house. So that means out of that day, and in that day, how many, that year, 2.5 years, how many ever times Kumbha Lagna was there, all of them will be manizers or womanizers.
I might be wrong. Correct me.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
So he probably this horoscope, they don't believe in God. He's probably an atheist, or he goes against his own religion. I think it's Kamala Hassan, but you said it's a lady, so I don't know.
Is that because you see Rahu in the 9th?
Rahu in the 9th, yes.
Or the 9th Lord in the 8th?
Both.
With the
actually, it's making it stronger case for it.
See, but the question, but the question is, why movies?
Again, 5th and 10th connection.
Again, sir.
5th and 10th connection. And any 11th connection to 5th?
11th Lord aspect.
11th Lord aspecting?
5th Lord and 10th Lord.
5th Lord and 10th Lord. So perfectly everything fitted, right? But you see the strange thing here. The 6th house has got a lot of points. She's also having a lot of infections.
Even Lagna Lord itself has gone to the 6th house.
Lagna Lord itself has gone to 6th house. And so on. So what comes up in our discussion today is the mere connection between two lords will produce a yoga, even if it has gone to a Dushtana. But you notice here it is not 6 and 12. So out of this, we come to know that only in case of Yoga Bhanga, the 8th Lord is a spoiler. But the real strong Dushtanas, without any doubt, is 6 and 12. 6, 12. That axis is more negative than this because 8th house can bring surprise, sudden events. Okay.
Guruji, can you repeat?
So it makes it very difficult if you use general rules and try to make a prediction for this lady. If she had come when the person was very young and you say, oh, your horoscope is all weak because you're having 8th house, so many planets. Right? And how will you ever search for every horoscope? Will you become an actor?
Guruji, can you repeat the mere connection between two lords can bring, I think...
That is the connection of 5th and 10th. Even if the connection happens in a Dushtana, it doesn't really change The conjunction is a conjunction. The connection is a connection.
But out of that, like you're saying, 8th is the best compared to 6th and 12th.
Yeah, 6th and because 8th is at least there is a possibility of surprise. And these people's business, these people's, their work in acting is all, it will happen suddenly. Suddenly stardom, famous. The next movie. Only the same person again and again.
Probably Venus Dasha is also good because of Nichabanga, Mercury being exalted. So maybe the Venus Dasha also happened at the right time.
So where is Venus for this person in the Navamsha, sir?
You're becoming expert in Navamsha, I think.
No, just Venus is in its own house in the case of Amitabh Bachchan, sir. So it is important for...
Was it you are searching for Venus or 5th house positions or anything?
No, Venus, just Venus position because it is
in Navamsha.
Connected to acting. Yes.
In Navamsha, it is in Simha, Leo.
Oh, okay. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But see the similarities. When many planets are in a grouping in any house, the 11th from that will have high points in Sarvashvarga. Please remember it. So you don't need a Sarvashvarga. Without that, because these 4 planets are here, from there the 11th will have lots of points. Why? In a beginner's class, we saw how numbers are generated in Ashtavarga. So it is because of that this house becomes so bad. If a lady has Venus debilitated, what does that mean?
Marriage life will be not that good, sir.
Problems with women, sir.
Oh, problem through women or men?
Women, sir.
Women.
Men only, no, sir, because of opposite sex.
Yeah, you have to take opposite.
Women, it is
Kalatrakaraka.
Yeah.
Kalatrakaraka. So
it's always the
7th
opposite.
and 8th lords are together in 8th. 7th lord has gone to 8th.
No. Somebody
is not good.
Somebody said Jupiter. Jupiter is for husband. But when you talk about opposite sex, it's always Venus only. There's no difference between male and female. Okay.
Sir, but Rahu is acting here as Venus, sir. It is in the 9th house. Maybe it can help in that way.
Can you guess which graha might be the strongest in Shadbala?
The moon.
Very good.
Moon, sir.
Moon has jumped to the top. Very like a skyscraper, like a tall building it stands. Totally leaving everybody behind.
So is it Rohini Nakshatra, sir?
I will not be able to tell you the nakshatra because people will find out the date.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That's okay.
But I'll tell you, moon is the strongest in Shadbala. When moon is strongest in the 4th house, exalted. Exaltation doesn't always mean, strong in Shadbala. But in this case, it is exalted and strong. The next strongest planet is Jupiter. Both are very strong.
And there is a conjunction between moon and Jupiter.
How did we get moon is strong? Sorry, go ahead, Pavani.
Yeah, I just want to know whether moon and Jupiter are in conjunction or not.
They're not very tight, but
after more than 7 degrees. Sir.
15 degrees or less, sir.
Yeah, it is. It is wide apart. Okay.
Okay.
How to guess? Like, how did we guess? Like, moon is stronger in Shadbala because
people guessed because moon is exalted. I think it is.
But you said like person is born somewhere around.
Exalted and sir, Digbala in 4th house.
Which one?
The moon is in 4th house, right? So
Yeah.
it's Digbala and exalted.
Exalted, yeah. So many nice points. And for a lady, if moon is so strong, then they'll have a very attractive
Beautiful.
face.
Yeah, very beautiful.
And you said
Beautiful.
moon in the 4th house is also for mass attraction, sir.
Moon in the 4th is mass attraction. Yes.
3 planets are in under the influence of Venus, sir. Here. Jupiter, Moon, and Rahu. And many
Okay.
planets are in conjunction with Venus. Right? Maybe.
Yeah. Jupiter has aspect to all the planets, right? All the planets in the 8th house. See, for actress, that is lady actors, life will be checkered. It won't be steady because the movie industry always replaces women very quickly. And then they come back again and again in different roles like mother role and grandmother role, but they won't have the same limelight. So that is the suspense of the 8th house, unsteady.
So Guruji,
like that Jupiter also, like that Amitabh Bachchan also had his own problems, that it wasn't a steady career. Okay. You lose everything and then you have to go back to Kaun Banega and start life all over again. You know, from his point of view, it looked very bad, right? From our point of view, it's all good. So the Arudha Lagna for Amitabh Bachchan is showing very well. So you will say, what is the problem? He's such a successful person. But from his point of view, it will be different. Okay.
Guruji, I have one question. So
Yes.
based on Amitabh Bachchan's chart where Saturn was, you don't have to tell me the exact year, but I was trying to calculate the age for this person. So is this person born around 1977 or 78?
Yeah, 76 actually. 76 September, sir.
Just curious. Is that correct?
This is the problem, you know, you will eventually find out. If she comes to know that I've shared her horoscope, you know, she's going to rip me apart. I just wanted you to, you know, see the similarities. Okay. So she's also extremely, you know, she succeeded in movies. Okay. So Amitabh Bachchan also. And see the similarities. Same Lagna. That's why I brought this up before you today. So what is the takeaway today? If conjunction happens, we still have to hold, you know, to the truth about conjunction, that whenever they get connected, there is a connection to those houses somehow.
So
the same rule.
War is also a conjunction, sir. So we can apply this there also.
Yeah, I'll tell you. See, in some horoscopes, just look at this. Did you see something?
Yeah, it came and went actually. It is the green.
Oh my God.
Why? There was no planets in that chart.
There's nothing, right? Okay.
It was cleared.
So still you can edit it, sir, in the video, even if it is come.
I had another file, the entire horoscope with me. I hope the horoscope didn't show up. Even if it does, please do not share it with anybody, okay?
We haven't seen any, sir.
It's a very good learning actually for us. So,
okay, just a minute.
Sir, just with the position of Jupiter and Saturn itself, we can identify.
I know you can, but you better not do it, Manoj. Okay.
Sir, it's not intentionally we are doing, sir. In the mind, it's actually starting to work the moment we see the chart, right?
Yeah. And I think we will honor the promise that we
the
have
confidentiality.
Yeah. Confidentiality, absolutely.
We should. Yes.
He's also having problems regarding stomach.
Yeah,
sir.
definitely, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, she also
She's
has.
also having
Yeah,
problems.
she also has. Yeah. Yeah, some blood infection is also
Because the
there.
first lord itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Allergies and blood infections are there. Okay, now I want to tell you something. See, when you say, like for example, this I've always noticed. If you're looking at, in this case, moon is a sixth lord, right? So moon is a sixth lord. What happened to ascendant? So ascendant is here. Or let me take a real case study. Wait a minute, I have one. Yeah, this one, correct.
A general question, Guruji. Is it very rare to have 4 exalted planets in a chart?
Not so much. Yeah, it's rarer, definitely rare. Usually have 3. Getting 4 is somewhat rare. But then again, you need to capitalize on the exaltation. If they're in bad places and you're not able to capitalize on it, then again, it could be wasted. This was an example of a very tight conjunction, Mercury and Venus. Hey, wait a minute, not this.
9th and 10th lord.
No, 1 minute. It was, yeah, correct. It was the other way around, sorry. It was here and here. Tight conjunction, and this was the thing. I'll never forget this case study because of it was very close to each other. And divorce happened in Venus Mercury. What is the logic here?
The 7th lord and the 6th lord.
Sixth lord and 7th lord connection in second house.
6th lord and 7th lord tight conjunction. So the opposite should also hold good, right? In Amitabh Bachchan, they were so close to each other. Though affliction, he had his problems in the movies, but yet it is a yoga. This was exact Dasa Bhukti. The same event happened as expected. Of course, in Navamsha, it was badly placed. That is another point. But so after going through many case studies like this, I found out that that's when I derived this idea. Let's think about planets as human beings. Then you'll understand astrology quite easily. Like you ask, who is Mercury? Who is Venus? Both of you are together. What are you trying to do? You ask them. They'll say, I am divorce planet and this is marriage planet. We are sitting together. Enemies and marriage. Sitting together. And where is it happening? In the second house of Kutumba. It's a very rapt conjunction. Very close. I don't remember it is planetary war, but it is very close.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Sir, will this
just with this placement? Now for this particular Lagna, Mercury becomes the 7th lord and the 10th lord, and Venus becomes the 6th lord and the 11th lord. Now, when the Dasha Bhukti of Mercury Venus came, it perfectly, as you said, sir, it has worked the 6th and 7th lord conjunction. It gave the result. But at the same time, it should also have given the result of the 10th and the 11th house. So was it because of a profession and a desire towards the profession led to the divorce, sir?
There is actually some truth in it because it was related to an extramarital affair in which the man gave her a jump in her career, and then the husband found that out.
Okay. So that is somewhere related to the profession.
It happened like that, yeah.
Because
it is an extramarital affair.
The predominant house would be Mercury's house would be the Virgo, sir. So that should have worked more. So when it came with respect to marriage and profession, she chose profession.
Exactly.
I was going to ask a slightly different.
Huh? So, Guruji, by any chance, in the Bhava chart, Mercury is in Sagittarius?
No.
No, right?
No. Oh yeah,
Sir,
I think you are saying if 7th Lord is in the first house.
Right.
Sir, I have a question.
No, but this was a single event that happened, and the man complained. Then it happened all so quickly, the divorce and everything, where there was no trouble at all in marriage. It was due to an external outside influence. But of course, see, I'm just giving you a point here that whenever you look at conjunction, please be aware that mere conjunction is enough to get the houses related. So it will be like almost like saying that Mercury is in the 6th house. It's almost like that. What is the connection here with Mercury in 6th house? Mercury connects to Venus. And what is Venus? This is a resource of the enemy. So I now get connected to enemies. But there's another way. If I connect like this, anywhere is enough. I connect. Okay. So all the problems, if you see how things happen, if you sit down, I mean, it's not so easy. Not everybody will confess what happened. They'll just say, I mean, you can't even ask them what went wrong. Only if they tell you, you can find out.
And so there is no Jupiter aspect on this conjunction, sir. Just want to know. Curious.
I don't remember where Jupiter was. Sorry, I don't. No, this was because why I remember this is after pondering. This happened more than 20 years back. Okay, when I found out that whatever they said about the planets being in different houses, and then they tried to connect it, it was only connecting to the planet. So that is the most important point, more than the house itself. So if that conjunction happens anywhere, you have to treat it as though it is in that house. Because if you say it is in that house, ultimately you got into Venus house. So it's a Venus connection. If Mercury were to be here, you get it? It is just a Venus connection. That Venus connection could be brought by these two people coming anywhere. So that worked in this Amitabh Bachchan's horoscope and with this actress horoscope also.
Sir, this conjunction works only. This conjunction's effect will work only in these two planets, Dasha or Antardasha, sir, or this effect will be on other when the other.
It can be because I only know at that time this was the Dasha Bhukti. Okay, Venus Mercury, only that much. But maybe this was happening all the time. How do we verify all this? We cannot find out. It might be the character of that person itself. We do not know.
So, Guruji, this happened because, the Mercury and Venus are together, or is it because of this Lagna?
No, it is just because of Lagna only. Because of Lagna only, Mercury became the 7th Lord. And then Venus became the 6th Lord. 6 and 7 connection is very bad for marriage. Okay.
Because I know a person like with this combination and Guru aspecting from he's in 6th and he's aspecting.
No, is it the same Lagna?
Venus. Yeah, same Lagna. Yes.
Yeah, you'll have to draw your own conclusions, but be very careful because these are all getting into other people's lives. And the problem with discussing these things is that if something has not yet happened, it will sow the seeds of these events. It can disturb the marriage. So be very careful.
This will happen. Yeah,
Be
this will
very
happen
careful when
only in
discussing
the
this. Yeah.
Sure, Guruji. Like I will not tell, but this will happen only in the Antardasha Dasha. This could happen like
overall, we'll be waiting for an
formation.
opportunity, and in this case, it happened exactly in the Dasha Antardasha. Sometimes it may not be. There could be some other planetary positions like Navamsa, 6, 8, and 12 planets triggering it. So many things are there. No, the entire. I mean, what I was trying to do was only this. I just wanted to tell you that conjunctions has to be treated as a connection only. Whatever it is, it's a yoga. All yogas are only connection. Anything that we read in astrology is only connection. Even looking, drishti, what we call aspecting, is only a connection. Coming together is a connection. Going into a house is a connection. Everything is one word: sambandha, relationship. How they get into a relationship, we'll have to find out. Okay, we will stop here, and we'll catch up next time. Maybe next time we'll continue with longevity. Longevity, yes, or continue with more case studies.
No, longevity good, Guruji, because that was, I think, a very
Guruji, can we have a mixing of longevity and case study?
Yeah, we will. Maybe at the end, we will study somebody who had a shorter life or something like that. But before that, can you make separate slides in Microsoft PowerPoint with a rule that is taken from a standard astrology book about longevity, and quote the rule if this is mentioned in Jataka Parijata or it was mentioned in Brihad Jataka, and put your name underneath. Okay, just your name and BSPA student. Okay.
Sir, one thing, nakshatras. So
yeah,
any session on nakshatras, I think would be good. We haven't done anything on nakshatras, so maybe
nakshatras we will keep it at last. Towards the last. I mean, it is not really. I mean, the main thing, because nakshatra is ruling us through the moon. So that's the power of nakshatra. The entire dasha bhukti is flowing from a nakshatra. Okay, right. So it's
sir,
always on the background.
Talking about moon, sir, I have one doubt regarding moon, sir. Can I ask? Just one doubt.
Yeah.
So
if Guruji, if the pakshabala of moon is very less, sir, but the strength of the moon is very high, that means it is Amavasya and the moon strength is very high, sir. What are the plus and minus of sir?
Moon strength is very high. Then don't bother about the Amavasya.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah.
And
but
the moon will
that,
be malefic, sir, in any case.
Yeah, that's what. The moon's Amavasya dosha has to be done. There is a puja ritual for it. Amavasya dosha Nivritti puja has to be done separately. But usually an Amavasya moon will also be negative Shadbala. But for some reason it has become positive. Don't say bad about that moon.
So the mind of the person will be okay.
Yeah, definitely okay. It won't be negative. Okay. Yeah.
And moon should we consider moon as positive or negative, sir, here?
No, positive negative is considered from Lagna.
No, sir. Whether it will become natural malefic or a natural benefic, sir. Just I want to know.
No, it will be benefic only. Because how did it get Shadbala? Are you sure it got very high Shadbala score? Very rare.
It is the case.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the case.
Yeah. That will become benefic.
Even though the moon is near to sun, it will benefic. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So Shadbala will always give the more positiveness to the planet, like exaltation, etc. But it is the dosha part will definitely work separately, because when Maharishi says about Amavasya, he gives it as a dosha separately, regardless of anything else. And if that person is born, it will have a little bit of effect. But if you read the overall chart and get more plus points on that moon, it won't be that bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. It is better to look at the entire chart when you're trying to assess a person as a human being. Whereas when you're talking about planetary position, it's something different. Even one by one, you can discuss planets. When you're talking about a human being, you should be very slow, because you need other, the other planetary positions, and then only conclude. Just by one, you cannot say. Okay. Yeah. So where is our Prahlad, the countdown? Manoj,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Manoj,
T minus
thank you
5,
for, yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.